Going to try and get an interview with Clearburt, the Olympian. He is on fire. He's going to the Commonwealth Games. I'm going to try and interrupt him here. Hey, Lewis, mate. Lewis, mate. Hey, can I get an interview with you?
Mate, I'm in the session.
Oh, no. Come on, mate. Just a quick interview?
No, mate.
Oh, fuck. Hey, Lewis, mate. I know you're busy. I know you've got stuff going on, but look, can I just get 5 minutes with you?
Alright, just 5 minutes.
Graham Bloxham for 5 Live, Wellington in your pocket. Just a bit edgy here. Lewis Clearburt. Lewis, welcome in, and thanks for taking the time for an interview. How are things going after the Olympics and being back in Welly?
Yeah, look, it's awesome to be back home in Wellington and starting to train again. Obviously in the middle of a session right now, but yeah, look, it's great to be back and doing what I love.
Yeah, and how long is the session?
Usually they're around 2 hours. Yeah, we do 2 sessions a day, so 4 hours of swimming a day.
Yeah. And who's your coach these days?
My coach is Gary Hollywood,
Yeah.
crazy Irishman. That's why I have to swim so much. But yeah, look, it works out for us.
Yeah, and you have a relationship with him pretty close, and yeah.
Yeah, I think every athlete needs to have a pretty good relationship with their coach to trust each other and to be successful.
Yeah, and obviously one of my weaknesses is jumping in front of people and trying to take those interviews with Olympian champions. Do you have any weaknesses?
Yeah, I've got a few weaknesses, especially at that high end. You have a few things that you need to work on, and being a medley swimmer, there's so many. I do all 4 strokes, and my probably biggest weakness is my breaststroke at the moment. So moving forward, that's the thing that I need to.
Do you think your competitors would want to hear that you've got a weakness?
I think that my competitors probably know my weaknesses. They've probably studied me a fair bit, but yeah, it was probably exposed a little bit in Tokyo. But I think next time hopefully should be sweet.
Yeah, so we watched you in Tokyo, and we were very passionate as Wellingtonians. And your build up to a race. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And when you're at the Olympics, it's sort of a whole nother level. I have a pretty specific routine, before I race and in that build up. But I think when you're at the Olympics, anything can happen, and it's such a high pressure situation. But I train this sort of stuff every single day, and I was ready for it.
Yeah. Got a favourite song because you had the earphones on, didn't you?
Yeah, look, anything when I'm away, I think anything from a Kiwi artist is pretty awesome, and it brings that home sort of advantage overseas for me. So anything 660, all those sort of Kiwi artists is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And failure. Can you obviously it's a bit of a fail from me jumping in front of you here, mate, but no mask and everything, so put the old mask on. But how do you deal with failure?
I think you learn from it. I think I learned from the things I don't get right. At Tokyo, not everything went right for me. In the morning, I struggled to get up that morning and race. So we look back on the things that we can do better, and we make sure that the next time we do them, they will be better. And yeah, just eliminating as many weaknesses as possible, because everyone has weaknesses and failures.
You struggled to wake up. I mean, you have a big night on it the night before or something?
I think it was probably, a mixture of things. I train at 5 a.m. every morning, but getting up and making sure your body is fully prepared after you've just swum, the race of your life the night before, is pretty tough. Getting to sleep that night wasn't easy. And then, trying to get up it isn't easy. And I don't think you can really practice that until you're actually in that situation of that high pressure. Yeah.
Well, interestingly, you talk about the race of your life, and when you mentioned that, I got chills down my spine. I got excited for you. Tell us what was going on then when you were dominating so much.
Yeah, look, I was just in my zone, I think, especially in that heat. I was really, I was prepared for that race, and I knew that to get into the final was going to be tough. It was swimming in the afternoon. Most people swim faster at night. And I was prepared for it, and I'd be preparing 5 years for that one moment, and for it to all come down and to get it right at that one point. I think I was pretty happy.
So did you know that you were dominating? Did you know you were in front?
Yeah, I could see the guys next to me. Usually you can only see the person that's just one lane over, because the next person, gets blocked from that person right next to you. I knew that the guy that was winning for most of the race would be in front. So I knew I was in a pretty good position for sure.
Yeah. When you won, did were the other people surprised, or did you know you could do it?
Yeah, look, I think there was going to be surprises. COVID meant that nobody could race last year, so we didn't really know where anyone else was going to be in terms of fitness, how much training they were able to do over the last year. So I think everyone going in didn't really know what to expect. So people were probably surprised, but yeah, look, I think everyone was going to be surprised at something or someone.
Yeah. And with summer, first day of summer, do you button off in summer? Do you sort of take a few months off?
Summer's actually our most important training block. So it's a time where most of the school kids are off, everyone's not working. So it's really the time where we can actually get some good quality training in. Usually we would go away and do a really good training camp. But this year, obviously, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I think we're just going to stay local and do what we can here.
Yeah, and you touched on Tokyo. We're proud of you. Certainly, Wellington is so proud of you, and you've got a big future here. What is next?
Yeah, look, next year is probably going to be even bigger than this year. We've got a lot of international competitions. We've got our World Championships and Commonwealth Games next year, which are the main two. And then there's a few little ones that, it'd be pretty awesome to go away. I think there's a competition in Monaco and Barcelona. So, look, honestly, with COVID, you can't really plan too much ahead. But Commonwealth Games and World Champs are definitely the big two for me next year.
Girlfriend?
Not at the moment.
But that's Graham Bloxham for 5 Live, and thank you very much for letting me jump into the pool and interrupt you. You've probably got 2 more hours of swimming, so thank you very much, Lewis. All the best.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Cheers.